It's time for Positively Kansas. Coming up, devoted to helping youth stay away from drugs. An ironic and tragic twist of fate turned their lives upside down. See how this Wichita couple is honoring the memory of their son and turning tragedy into a teachable moment. Also, it's a hot sport that's sweeping the nation, and Kansas is front and center. Learn why pickleball is serving up fun and excitement for Kansans of all ages, and how local communities are stepping up to try to accommodate demand. Plus, these two next-door business owners are also BFFs. Discover why their close relationship helps them both succeed in the dog-eat-dog world of retail. It's the start of our new weekly series called Wichita Destinations. And in our Wild Edge report, we catch up with some little quackers that are just passing through. Mike Blair has more great video as always. I'm Sierra Scott. It's great to have you with us. Those stories and more are coming your way on this week's edition of Positively Kansas.
Positively Kansas is brought to you in part by Visit Wichita, bringing you Wichita Destinations on Positively Kansas. Wichita, the heart of the country.
Before investing your hard-earned money, make sure your financial advisor understands your objectives. Mark Douglas, CFP, serving our community for over 20 years, providing customized financial solutions that focus on the individual.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas serves more than 930,000 Kansans in various programs. Independent, member-owned. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas, an independent licensee of Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association, supports KPTS.
Program support provided by the F. Price Kosman Memorial Trust, Entrust Bank trustee, bringing you the Kansas Wild Edge segments on Positively Kansas.
They are well-known and respected mentors in the Wichita Metro through their organization Rise Up for Youth. But David and Lynn Gilkey couldn't prevent the drug-related death of their son Ryan. Now the Gilkeys have turned that tragedy into some very powerful lessons while celebrating Ryan's life and the gift he left behind. Anthony Powell has the story.
I just want to say thank y'all for coming out and celebrating the life of my son Ryan.
The rain would not prevent crowds of people of all ages from gathering at Wichita's McAdams Park for the third annual Fly Rye event, held in honor of Ryan Marks. Ryan was a father and the son of well-known local mentors David and Lynn Gilkey, whose organization Rise Up for Youth has gained national attention.
It is a bittersweet day, but it's also a day of celebration and a celebration of Ryan's life.
In early 2017, at only 26 years old, Ryan died after smoking synthetic marijuana, also known as K2. It's a pain Lynn has learned to live with, but will never get over. His $1 million smile and personality always with her.
He was so outgoing, and Ryan, he knew no strangers. He was a friend of many.
In addition to celebrating the many positives about Ryan, the event is also a teaching moment about what can happen if you use drugs.
There's this girl that I know that she used drugs, and she kept on having kids. They kept on getting taken away from her, and she won't stop using drugs. So I know that to not ever do drugs because I don't want bad things to happen to me or my children or anybody like that.
Their choices matter, and their choices it doesn't just affect them, it affects everyone in their lives. And one bad decision, it could just be a ripple effect. It's like throwing a stone in a pond.
Both Lynn and her husband David once were crack cocaine addicts, but have overcome those dark days to become nationally known youth advocates. Lynn was honored at the White House in 2016.
I am a survivor of an addiction to crack cocaine for 16 years. I am am a survivor.
Back at the Fly Rye event, meanwhile, there was more celebrating of Ryan's life and the courageous decision he made before death. Along with his $1 million smile and personality, Ryan Marks was also an organ donor. And part of the emotion of this annual event celebrating his life is the presence of a man named Bill Hanna, who drove 13 hours from northern Minnesota to be here. You see, Bill received Ryan's heart, and with it, many more years of life.
I knew it was bittersweet because, you know, you're looking and you're excited, feeling fortunate, you're going to have another shot at a longer life. And then you also know that somebody died so that you could do this.
After getting to know a little bit about Ryan,
Learned that he was a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Bill knew he had to meet his donor's family, so he came down for the Fly Rye event in 2018. There was an instant bonding with the Gilkeys.
My goodness, right from the start, it's a family of great love and caring, and they embraced us right away, in both physically and emotionally, and it was a great feeling.
Strangers brought together, and now family forever, thanks to Ryan's selfless decision.
He struggled a lot, and I remember Ryan telling me one time that he felt like he didn't have a purpose. And when I found out that he was that he had signed up to be an organ donor, it just rested well with me that he did have a purpose.
And on this day of celebration and life lessons, there was one more to be shared through the story of Ryan and Bill. How an African-American man's heart continues to beat strongly in a Caucasian man's body. And how in the end, we're all just people.
It ain't about color, The beauty of it, there's different cultures and stuff, but the beauty of it is people are people, and they are beautiful people. And I hope I'm a pretty good guy too, and I'm trying to be better after the transplanting.
For Positively Kansas, I'm Anthony Powell.
In addition to heart recipient Bill Hanna, 5 other people received organs from Ryan. Who would have thought a game developed in a backyard due to boredom could become so popular? The game is pickleball, and it continues to grow across the nation and here in Kansas at a very rapid pace. Chris Frank shows us why players love the sport and what communities are doing to accommodate the need for playing courts.
So how popular is pickleball, you may ask? Well, it's one of the fastest growing sports in the world. Some say the fastest. And on this particular September weekend, a pickleball tournament is being held in Wichita at Chicken and Pickle, with what event organizers are calling the largest ever cash prize payouts.
Essentially, they invite all of the best players to come to this tournament.
Ben Johns is one of those invited players. Johns came all the way from College Park, Maryland to compete in the Franklin Pickleball Masters tournament hosted by Chicken and Pickle in Wichita.
It's not a normal tournament where you just play, you get to enter, you actually get invited. It's the biggest prize pool in history and one of the best venues you could ask for. So you don't want to pass up an opportunity to make some money and play with the best players in the world.
30 players compete in men's doubles, women's doubles, and mixed doubles. First place gold is worth $10,000, silver pays out $5,000, and bronze $2,500. Those monetary stakes attest to the rise of pickleball's popularity from its humble beginnings as a backyard pastime to a sport being played by more than 3 million in the U.S. alone.
I attribute it to the fact that everybody can play it, no matter age, gender, anything. It's a fun game that you pick up fast, and you can make it as competitive as you want.
And the expectations are for even greater growth.
There has to be a ceiling somewhere, right? I just don't know that we're that close to it, because if using Wichita as a microcosm of the greater picture, we see people picking up more and more in numbers around here.
Are you ready?
Sure. It's spreading like crazy.
It's a Friday evening at the Seneca Park in the Delano area of West Wichita. All 6 pickleball courts are occupied with doubles players. Several other players sit on the sidelines waiting their turns to get in a game.
Pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States. And in Wichita, these are the two best facilities.
Greg Smith calls himself a pickleball advocate. Smith says the Seneca Park's been busy since the Wichita Park and Recreation Department converted 2 tennis courts to 6 pickleball courts.
When it was a tennis court, there was no use, so the city came in and put all these courts in. It was just never used for anything. The people were afraid to come down here.
City of Wichita Recreation Superintendent Reggie Davidson says the park's pickleball courts are in high demand. The city has 13 outdoor courts. Pickleball is also played indoors at several of the city's recreation centers. Davidson says there is a high demand for more courts to be put in.
It's growing that fast.
Pickleball got started in 1965 on Bainbridge Island near Seattle, Washington. 3 dads at that time were looking for something that would entertain and occupy their bored children during the summer. Those dads came up with this paddle sport, taking elements from tennis, badminton, and ping pong. A perforated polymer ball, similar to a wiffle ball, is what players try to keep in play. And how did it get its name? Well, the story is a dog named Pickles chased and ran off with the ball. Well, the game's founders decided, hey, let's call it pickleball. And the rest is history.
It's a sport for all levels.
On these courts, you'll find those who've played for years and those who've played for a couple of months or less. Some take lessons at a park rec center to get started.
In all honesty, yeah, I've kind of converted over to pickleball a lot more than tennis.
Kevin Dobbins has only been playing pickleball a few months, but he's played tennis for years and says many of the tennis skills are helping him to transition to pickleball.
I teach tennis for a living, but I don't play very often. I like to play pickleball. It's just a little easier on my arm and legs, just not quite as much movement. Although I still love tennis, it does, take its toll a little quicker than pickleball does. I know a lot of people have switched over.
He says pickleball is a good exercise, and this mother and daughter playing duo agrees.
So you'd recommend it to others?
I would, yes. It's a lot of fun. It's a good cardio workout, but you get a leg workout at the same time. And,
it beats sitting at home watching TV, just get out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
All ages.
And everyone's great who plays it.
Now, it's true a lot of older folks love to play pickleball, but if you were to stereotype this game as being one for seniors, you'd be wrong, as these 20-somethings and even younger folks over here will attest to.
It's fun. It's like tennis, but the court is smaller.
Easier?
Mm-hmm. I used to think it was for old folks because a bunch of elderly people played it at my church, but my husband convinced me to go out and play one time, and it's worth it. It's fun. It's easier to pick up than tennis.
These players are Family Med residents from Via Christi St. Francis. They're taking a break from their medical rounds to get some exercise. They're all in their mid to late 20s or early 30s.
I just think everyone should try it. It's fun. Yeah, it's affordable. The whole family can get into it, and it's a great way to make some memories.
And these players say pickleball is a great way to burn off calories.
The thing that's nice about the sport is that you can play to the level of exertion that you want. If you want to come out here and kind of stand in one place and not sweat a lot, you can find that game. If you want to come out and sweat like a pig, you can find that game too. There's so many different levels.
And though everyone here will say how great pickleball is for exercise, they'll also tell you it's a great way to meet new people and make friends.
It goes by so quick you don't even realize you're exercising. It's just a fun game. You meet a lot of people.
So it's more than just physical.
Oh, this is definitely a social thing. Very much a social thing. This is where you get out, meet people.
These players are pleased with the new courts being put in, not only in Wichita, but many of the suburban communities like Derby, Andover, Colwich, and more. But there is a movement to get the city of Wichita to put lighting in so play can go later into the evening.
If we had lights out here, that would be wonderful.
I mean, we have lighted tennis courts all over Wichita, one right across the street from where I live, but we don't have any lighted pickleball courts. That's what we really need.
So now we're trying to get the city to put lights up here and over at Edgemore.
Smith and fellow pickleball players have a grassroots effort called Light Up Edgemore. They're trying to raise money to give to the city to put lights up at Edgemore first and then at the Seneca Park.
It's a lot of fun.
So what have we learned about pickleball? Well, the players say it's a lot of fun, good exercise, a social pastime, and growing in popularity. And the competitive players out here, well, they're playing for big prize money. So maybe we'll see you on a pickleball court soon. For Positively Kansas, this is Chris Frank.
Wichita pickleball players have set up an initiative called Light Up Edgemore to help raise money for the Parks Department to install lights on existing pickleball courts and to convert more tennis courts to pickleball courts. Suburban communities, including Derby and Colwich, have added pickleball courts. The Shawnee County Commission recently approved a $10 million indoor pickleball facility with 20 new pickleball courts in West Topeka. Wichita's historic Delano district is a popular destination with more than 250 businesses. There are lots of charming and trendy stores and restaurants, including 2 that are run by best friends right next door to each other. Brian Ramsdale shows us how this personal relationship helps each business thrive in the heart of the city.
We spent pretty much like all of our time together growing up. So yeah. She was at my house all the time.
I just always knew that I wanted to have a store filled with things that were accessible but also unique.
Then right through here is our relaxation room.
There are 2 different stores with 2 different owners. Bohemia Healing Spa and Bungalow 26 in historic Delano are right next to each other, and the owners wouldn't have it any other way.
I think we both call each other. We're not friends. We're more like we're family members.
Yeah, we're definitely
so it's
family.
Really nice to feel like you have that.
It's a support system. It's fully a support system.
Kelsey Metzinger and Kelly Foster were best friends long before they were ever business owners.
30 years. We met in gym class at Hayesville Junior High when we were in 7th grade.
Kelsey opened up Bungalow 26, a boutique store, several years ago in Wichita, and then an opportunity came for her best friend Kelly to start her own massage business basically next door.
I just, the light bulb went off. She really took to massage, and I really wanted my best friend to be 2 doors down, so I told her she should buy the business.
Yeah.
I'm sure the people across the street are like, what do they do all day long? Because we're back and forth constantly.
Back and forth. I'm like, do you have a screwdriver? Hey, is there...
It's nice when you need office supplies.
Hey, let's have lunch together. Hey, what do you want for lunch? We're literally right next door to each other. So.
These best friends are helping each other all while creating a fun place for people to enjoy shopping and spa treatments.
This is my favorite room. This is our magnesium and mineral soaking tub.
I always point them to things that they can't get anywhere else. We have conversations with people. When they come in the store, it's not just give me your money and I'll see you later. We actually want to know about our customers.
The historic Delano district is great for shopping and great for walking, and turns out it's great for best friends too.
It's always been more of just like sisters than friends. That's how I would describe it.
Definitely.
Sisters that get along really well.
Yeah, we don't fight.
We don't ever argue or fight. Yeah, I think 2 fights we've gotten to.
That's not bad.
Since 30 years. 30 years, 2 fights, yeah.
Bohemia Healing Spa and Bungalow 26 are nearly side by side and owned by best friends. And you will only find them in Wichita, the heart of the country.
Next week, Brian takes us to a Wichita destination that's a shopping center unlike any other. You're going to want to see it, and then you're going to want to go there. You've probably heard of them, but the only time you're likely to see them in Kansas is on their trip south for the winter. Mike Blair shows us the beauty and wonder of teal as they buzz over Kansas marshes in tight flocks, signaling a change of season.
September marshes lie waiting. In wet years, when water pools and the food plants color up on cooling nights, the wetland scenes are pleasant frames of a coming fall. but they're lonely when the sky is empty, and they wait for north winds to bring them teal. The first flights come jetting in when lows reach 60. And suddenly, skimmers and bluets no longer rule. The little ducks, speedsters among their kin, arrive in squadrons. They eat ripening seeds and plump larvae from submerged plants. And they find their liking in waters only boot-top high. Restless birds, these. They fancy flight and often arise to make fast laps around their flats. Slaty wing patches confirm the gray missiles as blue wings, advanced scouts of the waterfowl world. Then, not prone to move on easily, they settle back down if the coast is clear. Like all trekkers, they find favorite eateries and tend to loiter, sometimes staying days, maybe weeks before traveling on. And then they're gone, tracing on toward the Gulf as larger and hardier ducks replace them. Blue wings, harbingers of autumn. Our days are blessed when they cross our skies. I'm Mike Blair for Positively Kansas.
Next week, Mike goes undercover in the wilderness to see what happens when a white-tailed buck and a pesky raccoon both have their eyes on the same dinner. Now to the town of Oxford, where diners are in for a triple threat. They'll get home-style cooking, historic waterfront atmosphere, and a heaping helping of entrepreneurial spirit. Anna Spencer has the story.
They're serving up something special in Sumner County. Diners here are feasting on more than pot roast and baked potatoes. This lunchtime getaway takes you right into the heart of a water-powered flour mill built back in 1874. The legendary landmark on the edge of town opens for lunch solely on Sunday afternoons. But this is only one part of the Old Mill restaurant's unique story. High school senior Abby Moore manages the restaurant as part of the Oxford High School Entrepreneurship Program, a program she first joined during freshman year.
And my first day actually was chicken fried steak, chicken fried chicken, and it was a mess. There's lots of dishes. We have two sinks. We have the front sink and the back sink, and the back sink is where all the big dishes go, so that's about the last resort for the day is the back sink. Then I worked my way up to waitressing, and I waitressed for a few months, and then my sophomore year I applied to become a manager for junior year. So I've been a manager this last year, and then this will be my second year of managing.
As part of the entrepreneurship program, students do all the marketing and menu planning. They also prepare and serve the meal under the supervision of a head cook. The student staff wash dishes, wait tables, and manage the books. Working at the old mill isn't an ordinary school project. It's actually a paying job.
My mom told me I would have to start paying for my phone bill, so I needed a way to get money. And Angela actually told my mom about this program, so my mom made me apply, and I got the job.
The student-run restaurant has been going strong for 12 years following a large restoration project. Meals are served in a quaint rustic dining room with stone walls and traditional wood beams. On the National Historic Register since 1982, the 145-year-old mill is seeing new life as an established restaurant in South Central Kansas and offering up real-world business experience for a new generation. Leading the program for the last 3 years is Oxford High School teacher Angela Carter, who says it's the students who make the program so worthwhile.
Really probably just getting to know the kids better, just hanging out with them more and seeing them grow and learn, and they get that leadership responsibility, and then when they go out into college or in the world, they've kind of got that experience already, and they come back and they're like, wow, that was awesome, thanks for letting me do that.
Jobs at the Old Mill restaurant are open to all Oxford High School students, and employees with the management positions can receive school credit through business classes. It's a special partnership where students gain vital business skills and the restaurant provides revenue for the community, all while drawing tourists to the area. And while the flour mill may be a thing of the past, thanks to these students, this historic site continues its legacy of putting food on the table. In Sumner County, I'm Anna Spencer for Positively Kansas.
The restaurant is open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Sundays. Meal price is between $13 and $15. Well, that's a wrap for this week. Our email address is positivelykansas@kpts.org. If you have a story idea, send them in. I'm Sierra Scott. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Program support provided by the F. Price Kosman Memorial Trust, Entrust Bank trustee, bringing you the Kansas Wild Edge segments on Positively Kansas.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas serves more than 930,000 Kansans in various programs. Independent, member-owned. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas, an independent licensee of Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association, supports KPTS.
Before investing your hard-earned money, make sure your financial advisor understands your objectives. Mark Douglas, CFP, serving our community for over 20 years, providing customized financial solutions that focus on the individual.
Visit Wichita, bringing you Wichita Destinations on Positively Kansas. Wichita, the heart of the country.